This is a quick demo of BCXDevSuite. BCX is a basic to C compiler. If you've used VB3, 4, 5, 6, then BCX Basic will be very easy. If you haven't, it's still a very easy programming language to learn. BCX converts that basic code into real C code, and then that real C code is what's compiled into your target executable or DLL, etc. This means that it's very easy to learn, but the output is actually quite efficient and very fast. We start BCXDevSuite by clicking on BCX Basic. It runs FBEdit to create a new GUI project. We select it from the Tools menu. We'll call this Video Demo. Click on Create. That creates the project and it copies in some startup files. We'll now open that project, and you'll see we've got some very simple code. The first thing it does is load IDD main. This loads the main window or form. The first form must be called IDD main. There's some very simple event handling code. One of the big advantages, in my opinion, of this DevSuite over earlier versions is that all of the forms, the windows dialogues, they're all created visually. What this means is we've got a WYSIWYG editor where we can create our windows. So inbuilt in FBEdit is a resource editor. We'll go for a very quick example. I'm going to add a text box, add a couple of buttons, you'll see that there's some nice little options. If I want to line up, I can align controls. I can align them to the top. Standard stuff for a resource editor, but really useful because in BCX there's not really been anything like this before. So we can change the caption on the buttons. I'm going to leave the names the same. And then again, with the resource editor, we're going to create a very simple menu. Let's create a help menu. It's right aligned because it's the help menu. We'll add a new entry. About. Because we actually want to do something on this click, it must have a name. And then we indent it so that it comes under the help menu. That's that menu created. If we go back to our form, we scroll down on the attributes, we can then apply that menu to the form. It's not right aligned in the preview, but it does get sorted out when it's compiled. So that's our basic form. Let's just change the caption on the window. Be careful here, don't change the name unless you mean to, when you mean to change the caption. Easily done when they both start off the same. So we'll save that. When we go back to our code, FBEdit has compile, run and go. These buttons here are compile, run and go. If we click on the go, it basically does a compile and then a run. So if we run that without adding any code, when we hit compile, the code to handle the resource files is generated and linked into our resulting executable. You can see we've got a working form, but nothing happens at the moment. So let's put in some simple code. So when we get a WM command event, I'm going to say if the control in question is our first button, then we're going to call BCXSetText. BCXSetText takes a handle to the control. So in this instance, the edit box. We need to pass it a handle to the edit box so that we can insert text. Now, using the resource editor in this way, the only things that we actually have a handle to are the forms. So in order for us to get a handle to the individual items, we use getDialogItem, and we basically say it's on the IDD main form, which we've got a handle to because it's a form, and then we say the name of the control on that form that we want to get a handle to, and that's called IDC edit 1. And then we say something like that. We've got a second button and we have the menu. I'm going to paste that code in. You'll see that the second line does exactly the same as the first, except it's fired on the second button control and it changes the text. On IDM about, which is our menu entry, we're just going to display a message box. This getDialogItem form control, if we were to use this 100 times throughout our code and we didn't want to keep typing getDialogItem ID main IDC edit 1, we could dim a new control, so we could say dim edit 1 as control, and then we could set edit 1 equal to getDialogItem IDD main IDC edit 1, and then in that instance all we would need is to use edit 1, because that would be defined as a control and it would have the handle for that control. So let's try and run that. Yes, we'll save that file. That's compiled and that's now run. Let's try the menu. That brings up our message box. Set text. This is the text from button 1. This has changed the text. Okay, so a very quick and simple demo, but it gives you an idea of hopefully how easy it is to create GUI programs using a WYSIWYG GUI editor. If it's useful, please let me know. The code for BCX isn't mine. I believe it's Kevin Diggins. Really useful. If you've done no programming, it's a really easy way into Windows programming. Does console apps, does Windows apps, does DLLs. Really good, really powerful. Thank you.